I found a little bit of space to set up my Amstrad CPC 464, and I'm going to do a fairly quick video of this game, Thrust. Now this game is an absolute 8-bit classic, and it's from 1986. But this is a game that I wasn't all that familiar with at first. But then people started playing it at school. I did grab some other Amstrad games. There's Thrust 2 and a few other things. Hopefully these games still work, because it's getting to the point now where these cassette games are really starting to struggle. So let's load it up and play some Thrust. So of course this is the Amstrad startup screen and the loader. I'm going to skip ahead, of course I'm not going to show you the entire loading. The average cassette game will take about 10 minutes to load up. I've seen a video of this game on the Amstrad where there's music during the loading, but my version doesn't have music during the loading. This sort of loader is the same as with a few other Firebird games. It's almost like it's very methodically loading up the game chunk by chunk. Maybe it's quite a sophisticated loader, because you'll see here that I wasn't paying attention, but it fails to load, but it will allow you to just rewind it and try again without crashing. It missed block 32, but I just rewound it and it successfully loaded. It's a bit text heavy, but if you look carefully, there's no way to redefine these controls, and it doesn't support the joystick. So I think this is me playing it now. For those that are not aware, your only aim is to grab the orb and to escape the planet, and you can get some bonus points by blowing up the planet, by blowing up that reactor. And it really is as simple as that. I mean, it's all about playability. So what you have here is you have these little kind of, I don't know what to call them. I've never known what to call them, but they're like tanks on the wall. Turrets? I'll call them turrets. And they won't specifically aim at you, but they do kind of fire in a bit of a random fashion. And I must say, the game does a pretty good job of shifting the screen around as well. So that's mission 2 complete, on to mission 3. There's quite a few controls, which is the reason why you can't use a joystick. There's a fire button, there's a shield button, which also picks up the fuel, and there's your thrust button as well. Oh, I should have got my shield out for that one. It does feel really good when you maneuver through the cave really quickly. But you know, there's times where you feel like you're completely in control and then you just sort of just get 1 pixel too close to the wall. So now things get a little bit tricky because I have to get back out again. Oh, this is pretty tight. And if you touch a wall, or if the orb touches a wall, then you will just explode and lose a life. And we're out of there. I do think this plays very slightly slower than most other versions of the game. I think the first one was made for the BBC Micro, and that's the version that we all played at school that I was talking about earlier. But this looks and plays exactly the same as that version. It's just very slightly slower. Because you had all of these different home computers and they, for the most part, they used fairly off-the-shelf parts. But there was just slight different combinations of screen sizes and processor speeds and things like that. And the Amstrad ends up being just a bit more sluggish than most other computers because of its capabilities. The Amstrad has quite a big screen compared to other computers. The graphics chip in the Amstrad can shift the screen around in hardware, but it doesn't do it pixel by pixel, and it's quite tricky to program your game around it. So a game with fairly smooth scrolling like this, I think it's pretty much down to just getting the processor to do it. So there's a lot of work on the processor. It's always a struggle when your ball starts swinging around like that. Oh god. Oh, I died. I touched that reactor. But we used to be so good at this, me and my friends and people at school. I mean, this is giving away my age a little bit. It was at middle school. We just started to do IT as a lesson. They had bought loads and loads of PCs, so they had this computer room set up. But they also had lots of BBC Micro computers with great big chunky TVs in the corner of the room. And for some reason, even though it's a school, they had all these games, and one of the games they had was Thrust. And I remember thinking, oh god, I remember that game. I've got that at home. And I'd not really played it very much, but obviously we all got into it and we got really good at it. And I can remember that there's about 6 ordinary levels, and then you replay the same levels with the gravity reversed, and then if you can manage to beat the 6 levels like that, there is an invisible landscape where you can only see it if you press your shield button. course, things get trickier and trickier. You know, I really do like the look of this game. It's got the look of a old vector game, which I think was it's kind of retro even at the time. Although there were still some vector games, but this game has the look of a vector game, but it's not. I think it is just drawing those sprites normally. Oh god. You're getting sloppy, Andrew. So what are we up to now? This is the 5th level. I think there's 6 levels before it loops back to level 1. And was I saying once you beat the 6 levels you get reverse gravity and then you get invisible landscape? And then I think you get reverse gravity and invisible landscape. And once you've looped through all of those, I think it just goes back to level 1 and the enemies are a lot more aggressive and it will just loop forever because you are essentially just chasing a high score. But I cannot find a fault with this game at all. I suppose there is one flaw, and that's that you can't redefine the controls in this version. But I think you can in other versions of the game. I found it difficult to play, even though I hadn't played it for a long time. I mean, and you can see from this video that I'm all right at it. I'm not amazing at it. With a bit of practice, I could get back to where I was. But it was difficult to play because of the setup I have. And it was a bit of a struggle. So the video might have been a little bit longer if it weren't for that. I don't really like my videos being really long. I also don't like those videos where somebody starts up a game, they don't know what they're doing, and the video lasts about 2 minutes 30 seconds. And it's just, I cannot understand why people do that. They'll upload a video of a game that all it requires is just finding out what the controls are and what you're supposed to do before you start playing the game, and yet they'll upload it, and because they got there before I did, maybe 15 years before I did, their video gets all the views. I should say, I've done a video of this before, haven't I? I saw that I did a video of this before, but I think it was before I was using a capture device. So I had a camera pointed at a TV. Oh no, is that a game over? Do you see that little yellow line in the corner of the screen there? I don't think I've ever noticed that before, and I'm starting to think it might be a glitch, although the game has played perfectly fine so far, so I don't know. Well, anyway, that is Thrust. That is a fantastic game. It's really, really good. It's really good fun, and that's all I have to say about it. I'll try to upload a new video soon. I've been working on a video of Sonic CD for my Mega CD, and I've had so much trouble with it that it's just getting to the point where I want to just scrap it altogether, because I'm getting audio desync issues and I just don't know how to fix it. And it's a shame because it took me a heck of a long time to make the video, but at least I enjoyed playing through the game. So yeah, I'll upload a new video fairly soon. Once again, thank you for watching.